What is up, guys? Digital VFX here once again, and this tutorial today is going to be on how to make a big room style song, I guess, in FL Studio. For those of you who know, big room is a hugely popular genre in EDM. It's pretty much the majority of what's played at places like Tomorrowland, and it's the big energetic dancey thing that Hardwell, Avicii, well, maybe not Avicii, but Hardwell, Axwell, Dimitri Vegas, like Mike are big ones. All those mainstream huge names have this style of music, and it's a super basic, simple style. I don't think it's too hard, and I'm just going to show you how simple. This video is going to be pretty short. It's going to be on the melody part, and I could get into the drop. The drop essentially is just a variation of the melody, and you need a big room kick like this. It's a tuned kick with a little bit of a reverb, such as this. And I could possibly throw those in the drop video description, some samples just for you guys to mess around with, because they're very basic samples, and you know, they're floating around the internet, but just for ease of accessibility, I can just throw them in the description of the video when I actually do use them in the project. But for now, I'm just gonna be focusing on the melody, and the melody part is super basic. All I really noticed while listening to Big Room, because I used to be a huge fan before I kind of skewed away from it, was it's a simple melody, just a single layer melody, and then they just put down a chord progression in the bass in the same synth, and it's super basic but sounds really good. So let me just take a couple minutes and draft up a simple melody. It's a pluck. You need a synth, like a saw, similar to that. Go to that piano roll. Oh. You can turn off try it there. And it's a variation of they kind of do whole notes, and they throw in a little quarter notes, and you know, just little rhythmic things in the melody, and just to give it a little more flow. And then what they would do is they'd kind of just copy that on the next one and then give it a little variation. Something just as simple as that took me a couple minutes to draft up, and then you may notice it's not very original. It doesn't really sound that good, and it just sounds like it's copying right there. But to get around that, well, what makes it sound good in the actual melody is, like I said, they put a bass in the same synth. So let's just do, I'm gonna copy the same melody, or I shouldn't say the same melody, the same rhythm, put it down an octave, and then just put the same notes on a bass progression. So it sounds like this. It's very simple. And then do the same thing for, let's see, A. Drop that, knock it out. Next one's going to be G. And then get the same. And since I pretty much copied the same rhythm, you can just copy those down, and that one's going to be D. And then the last one's going to be an F. It's just a basic chord progression. And to follow up with the rhythm there, just do that. Make sure it follows the notes up there, and here's what it sounds like. And it's super basic. So there's the melody. You can throw that in the playlist somewhere. You can go down to a different pattern, have a different sound. This is just a pluck. I'm not sure if I really like that. If I were to make this in a song, I'd probably change that, but for demonstration purposes, it works perfectly fine. Just copy that, Control C. Go down to pattern 1. Make sure you're in the make sure you're in the piano roll for pattern 1, or whatever sound you're gonna do, and you have this. And you can even take out some of the complexity in there. Something like that. So it does sound a little more complex when you throw in this melody, and they'll just use this as an intro after an intro kick or just a loop, whatever they do to get into the song, and that just introduces the melody, and then it just progresses and builds to that. So it'd be something like this. And we can even do, just because I could hear it kind of overlapping a little, is even after you dumb down the complexity for the intro melody, you can just copy that into a separate piano roll, paste that, and then you can actually have the actual melody so it, oops, so it doesn't overlap and sound a little bit different. And as you can see, I'm not really trying to put a whole lot of effort in, just add a little bit of effects that they would do. And they do like a sweep up type stuff. Just basic uprisers. Throw the volume down on that. And then they'd build that, they'd have that a lot longer, but after that, what you would do is, whoops, I don't want to delete that. I'm gonna copy the first note, bring that up to pattern 4. And just do that. Make that, just quarter notes in there. just double it once more. And you'd throw that after the melody. What they would put in also after the melody would be a heavy hitting snare for the build-up. Let's see if I can get one. Where? That one will work for what we need to do. And you could just see that's. Sorry if you can't see part of the melody. I'm working off of dual monitors, so I only have the Camtasia recording one of them, so it wouldn't be like a panoramic video on YouTube, which would be kind of annoying. So after you put the 4 kicks, they do that, then they would do the same thing that I did with the melody. They would double it every 2 steps. And then just fill all of them. What you can even do is send this to piano roll and double it again by, so it kind of skips a step. So it would be like quarter notes, then eighth notes, then 32nd notes. Or, yeah, I think that's the proper terminology. Make sure that's not. All right, perfect. All right. Something like that. And what they would also do is in the snare properties, you can right click on pitch, create automation clip, make sure this is either 24 or 12 or 48, I guess. You want to do it in intervals of 12 because obviously those are octaves. So I guess I'll do 24, so it just goes up 2 octaves. And just make a simple thing like that. Put it on the very end. And I guess I can do the same for silent. Go into silent, pitch range, go up to 24. That's the pitch range. Now to get something in silent that's a third-party VST, to make an automation clip for something that is not, like if you right click on here, obviously I can't make an automation clip because it's not native to FL Studio. What you want to do is you want to move it so it kind of registers that that's the knob that you want to automate. Select the drop down box and go to browse parameters, and there it will be. As long as you selected it, it will be highlighted, and go to create automation clip right from there. If you go in here, yeah, I apologize, you can't really see most of what I'm doing because I have the dual monitors, so I might shut one of those off for future tutorials. But I think most of you get the gist of what I'm doing. So it sounds like this. Something like that. They'd probably have a vocal sample coming in at that point because big room producers usually do that. I think that's a little too much. set that drop down to 12. No, not 11. And you just do something like that. They could have a different, just a little fill in there with the melody. And that's pretty much where it would stand for the drop. It's very, very simple. So I guess I can just give the project, I can't really zoom in anymore because of my dual monitors, but I can follow along. And essentially that's the basic strong structure for a big room style drop. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If I get a bunch of positive feedback on this type of tutorial, if you want to see more on this style of music, I can do one on the drop, and I guess I could save this file and use this as a project file. And maybe I can even include this in the description if a lot of people ask for it, as a kind of exercise file so you guys can follow along and use this. And in that case, I would export it as a looped file, which would include all those samples and everything. The only thing you would need would be Sylenth, but I know it's a popular plugin, so a lot of people have it. But as always, remember to comment, rate, subscribe if you like this video, and it's been a Digital VFX production. Thanks for watching.